Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
You are once again welcome to PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, like and also share to other members to watch as well. You can equally leave a comment at the comment section after watching or send us a voice note on our WhatsApp number, which is 0277128777. Thank you. I want you to join me listening to a hot banter, a hot fight between Mustafa Gbande and the CEO of Petroleum Commission, Egbert. It has really generated a hot temper. Without much ado, I would like you to join me listening to what transpired between the two. This station still remains PENDREAM TV. Please do subscribe if you're a new member. Thank you. Join me listening to what transpired once again.
Hello, Obi. I wish to appoint myself as the crusader for public orderliness. I took a stroll in town today, and what I realized is that all the metal culvert on our underground channels have all been stolen. I wish to signal our security services that they should be alert in inspecting these scrap aggregators. Okay. And a push tracks, within our neighborhood, and also check the premises of the iron smelting companies. Should we find these culverts at any of these group of people, we should hand them the severest punishment. Crusader in Chief Egbert and Odiwe Abrey. Na asemo mamen kwa homan na minin komo we emra Mustafa Gbande Deputy General Secretary of the NDC in charge of operations, NA Omanpenyi Apaono as Deputy Director of Operations at the Presidency. Mayene no enin komo nioma bi koso cars bi ya aban cars wo se aban ensa etumi ka ne ho nsem no akwakwa bibi a ewo ho. Mustafa akwa be kosi sen so ni.
Hello
Mustafa, what menka?
Minia Obi. Good afternoon.
Afternoon. Bibi aboko there.
Oh, Radia Yadom. Yatiase.
Yeah. Yenim say aban cars bebre na ewo system nim at the Presidency. Monsa tumi aka cars was a monsa kenyina from SWAL administration appointees ni nyina.
Yo, Minia. Say madawase na etia etie phone. First and foremost, I will speak to you as a Deputy General Secretary.
Okay.
And not as a Director of Operations. But information that I know now, actually said, most state vehicles are MPP for a issue. Abra omo abayemono cannot be found.
How is that? A buying cars, no?
So that is the bizarre situation now. I said the friend woman also a bit more than so one telephone number so that's okay. And friend woman in bisa woman. So one more cars are no more use no. I want him for Obi. Yeah, I can't now almost so any politics and score political points. But you see, at the end of the day, can't afford every the ordinary taxpayer between 25% and 30% goes into taxes. Okoton suya utuya hun tax. Okoto edura utuya hun tax. Niema boa ehwa de nene ehiafo a wo mobre. They are at the center of our political discourse. And so as much as possible, we should be real with the issues, frank with the issues, and very frontal with what is wrong. Look, And now year, you can year MPP for a press conference. I was shocked. I asked myself, sir, is it a vindication, sir? I would have thought that the government was engaged in illicit corruption, dissipation of public purse, reckless management of public interest resources, mismanagement of the country, and stealing of state money. And that political parties are not established by law to condone, to support, to help, to aid in any form or shape any activity that undermines the collective resolve of the people. The manifestation of that uproar was to the effect that MPP have lost election with figures they have never lost before in the history of the creation of their party. Only for me to see Sowamambeye press conference to defend all the issues Ghanaians are talking against. What will be making? So, Jubilee House, Amampenyi Akachia. You would weep at the Bola.
Hey, Adain.
Obi, I will invite you to the place. You see, people are not talking about it. And to be who said in Parliament, who dishonestly defending what is wrong. But let me tell you, Jubilee House is here. You ask yourself, were there human beings living there?
Offices now say the general environment.
The entire Jubilee House have been reduced to nothing.
Hey.
Very dirty, unkept, misused, lack of maintenance. Bibiaye Basa at the seat of the president.
And Jubilee House, no, I'm
telling you, sir, I'm inviting you. That was where President Akufo-Addo was operating from until 7th January.
Yeah, but
I can describe it as a dirty place, a place of filth.
I'm asking Mustafa, say, the halls are Omampenyin swear ministers ni in, no? Is that also part of the rundown place? How can one say me?
There be say hall there, a hall. The Jubilee House is a big place. Come to a tour and see. I was thinking, sir, when the regional ministers were complaining, there was some element of a you until I went to the Jubilee House. So you ask yourself, every year in, year out, that the presidential budget was ballooned at the expense of the ordinary taxpayer. No? You ask yourself, what were they doing? Look, gardening is poor, painting, nothing, lighting, poor, misuse of furniture. The entire building is unkept. Or do you ask yourself if intellectuals were the people who occupy the Jubilee House, people who hold Louis Vuitton suits and watches and bags, people who have taste for dollars, were they the people operating from the presidency?
Mustafa, is this a ploy to want to get a budget for the renovation of the place? And I will be throw away in to test the waters and answer they are there.
I'm telling you, come and see. You know, say me what is wrong, I'll talk about it. Come, go to the place. You see, you should help us build this country. Me, I don't do politics, so I do my politics as a ministry. The judgment is between me and God. But let me tell you what is wrong, I will talk about it. Let me not be remembered for being a hypocrite, but a young man who stood for the cause of justice and what is right. The ordinary Ghanaian is suffering. Obi pe 20 Ghana cedis. Akwa kutreduane newuntimi nya. Obi the hospital ya hye no niska obi triaka. Owufo bi su said you obehwe ne mampo oniska no wahwe ne ma. If you have state officials who have lived very recklessly, managed, destroy the country, different from what they do to their private companies, then you ask yourself there, Was it deliberate malice to punish the people of Ghana? Was it incompetence? Was it recklessness? Or it is just shared wickedness on the part of the regime of President Akufo-Addo and his appointees to punish the people of Ghana for making them come into the presidency of Ghana?
Yeah, but Mustafa, you'd also realize hitherto na Jubilee House and Nim ho lawns ne wo ho no. Obehena aye dry, aye brown, tan, and I recall say when Nana-Addo came to occupy the Jubilee House, one of the first things from here is to bring back the lush green nature of the lawns, no. And I'm not for be so I recall what you are saying now, no, a bit weird that the Jubilee House.
I'm not. You are a journalist, well respected. We are in here. Come to the Jubilee House, visit the, and then you say whether I'm speaking from the sky or I'm speaking from experience. And then the conversation said, what the person has come to meet must stop. The reality is that Obi, the carpenter kunyana na esi ukonso anymore. Now better wheelchair. It is not enough to say that by the time you leave Asempa, you should put back a carpentry chair.
Yeah.
It is not enough. And I'm saying that the presidency was recklessly managed. They ran down the place. It's dirty.
Wow.
I'm saying it. If you want, come and visit the place. Will MPP also defend this kind of acts?
Mustafa, what it is about a host is here. Is it some heaps of refuse and now furniture na ya say no curtains na say walls na paintings na why what actually is the problem?
Did you actually for once interviewed the regional ministers? Did you send your people to visit the region?
I went to Ashanti region myself. And
did you see it?
Many of my in a bit breaky story the state of the residency of Ashanti region. Yes, I saw
it. Did you see it?
I saw it.
You testified that it was unkept.
Yes, it was terrible.
You also testified that the person who was the regional minister was educated and an elite, a politician of this country.
Yes, he was not living in the residency actually. Now,
do you also know that Volta region, the regional minister is one of the richest persons in the Volta region today?
I know he's a private businessman. That's also a richest.
That is correct.
Region,
because I schooled there, and the regional minister owned one of the biggest hotels.
Yes,
of the biggest
Sky
malls.
Plus Hotel. I know of Sky
So
Plus.
I then tell you that the residency was run down as we speak. And so the question is, will these individuals manage their homes the way they have managed government facilities? Let me go back to Ashanti region before I come back to the Jubilee House. The way the regional minister have run down the residency, which is a government installation, and the excuse is that he wasn't living there. Is it justifying the fact that he's not living there? We should abandon state properties to be run down? And if you come to the case of the Jubilee House, if you go to Eastern region, the regional minister cannot go and live at the residency. Just run down the place. Call the regional minister and interview her. Go to the presidency, and I therefore invite you. You would have all security clearance to check the way President Akufo-Addo have kept the Jubilee House. If that is the way it was handed over to him, and if there was anybody that would justify the budget, the expenditures of the presidency, and what we see today, so we'll be disabling the company.
Yeah, we'll do that. But Mustafa, what is curious, and it's the president of the republic, the new president, and the appointees, occupy Jubilee House or for some, the better part of the last 1 month. And if we are still talking after 1 month, say the place is dirtier, then
if the government that understands poverty and what it takes to salvage poor people, being the leader, President John Dramani Mahama,
yes,
is not living to taste and saying that the most important thing is that I must do the business of the people of Ghana. In the last 1.5 months, he's been busy setting up government. In fact, the speed at which he is setting his government up is unprecedented. If you check the records, sometimes it even takes 1 year, 6 months, and suddenly he is setting up government every year. The fact that they have taken over government and operating from same at the presidency is not enough to say that it is not a dirty place, it has not been kept well, it has not been maintained properly. You will not see a bucket of papers and answer debris to say that the place is dirty. But if you see a place which is unkept to the standard of a presidency, you can see it. You can see it. That is a seat of government, the most civilized elite, highest prestige building of the state. But that was occupied by people who know dollars.
But why are we talking about this now? 1 month.
I'm talking about it now because we have to let Ghanaians know. Ghanaians must know that, you see, the MPP have agreed with President Akufo-Addo to just destroy this country. They've lived not just stealing money, not just mismanaging the economy, they have also failed to protect state properties. One of such properties are the various residences, including the Jubilee House, where President Akufo-Addo operated from. And so those sitting in parliament who are being dishonest, those sitting at the MPP headquarters who does not respect the fact that the people of Ghana voted on a particular reason and defending the rot and criminality of the previous government should know that they are being hypocritical. The reality is that President Akufo-Addo have mismanaged this country. President Akufo-Addo have destroyed the country. Even the place he operated from have not been well kept.
But Mustafa,
it is not just the public purse.
Why then would we be hosting this year's Independence Day celebration from an unkept place? Adentia?
Do you want us to spend a lot of money when we are complaining that Ghanaians don't have money?
Yeah, but
is that what you want the government to do?
We cannot also host such a celebration. Do you
prioritize ceremonies than people who cannot pay their hospital bills? Do you prioritize ceremonies than people whose bonds cannot be honored? The people Kenofuriata starved, punished, some have died. Old ladies who were sitting at Ministry of Finance crying. Kenofuriata didn't have the conscience, the empathy for old people, pensioners. He locked up their funds. Do you prioritize than celebration than these people? Modesty is important when it comes to protecting the public purse. Conserving public resources is important when it comes to managing the public purse. And that is what the president is doing. And so when we say, we will not take Steve Match out of Accra just to save our resources, but also find a way to live monumentally the program or the yearly we should be able to satisfy it at the same time conserving money to prioritize I think that is the best decision a new government can ever take.
Mustafa, we know say on state vehicles no omanpanyin issue fiat say a man appointee bia ento state vehicle bia, and we are told that was diligently followed through. And Tiaba cars on same with appointees, it should not be a problem. Meboa.
Who pass Egbert Sebo? The Petroleum Commission.
Yes.
Maybe some say saloon car na won't feel. And your Petroleum Commission car.
Eh, Nansano. And some men are okay.
Miss Friend Nebisano. Aye, Ghana Supply, CEO. The car has the place has a 4x4 car and a BMW. The BMW as a speak or the coffee.
A official car.
Official car.
What like we tria huska.
Me say All these people. Yeah. Bangalore. Yeah, mama frima pari occupy. Cars be ye tracy a call honum. We found not less than 15 number plates in the house without the vehicles. Okay. I can send you all the pictures and the videos. Obi, come and sit with the director of transport and logistics and ask how many cars have they come to meet at the presidency. And these are the people who are jumping about pretending to say that they are clean.
Are you saying, sir, despite the directive from the president, appointees not still bought their cars? Is that what you're saying? And there is
the president was saying that no appointee should buy a new car, but he himself bought new cars. His fleet of cars, he had the highest convoy any president have ever had in the history of this country, including dedicating one to his seat.
But those were cars. No, Mustafa. Those were cars and now used while serving as president. The directive was said appointees are free buying. They should not buy their cars.
Let's say that president was the same man who said that if you want money in government, go to private sector. But his own brother privatized the entire government. So do you take his letter serious? He was the one who said he was in a hurry. Okay? So therefore, no appointee should take first class, but yet he was renting private jets.
No. Now
you take his word serious.
You are confusing the issues, Mustafa.
I'm not confusing you. Let me land.
Maybe. The Americans say during the transition period, inventory of state properties were taken.
And I'm saying that yes, a president issued an order.
Yes,
that all state officials should return their vehicles. And I'm saying that were you expecting the appointees who at the back of the president's previous directives for people not to steal, have stolen money, people not to live opulently, they have lived opulently. Do you expect that letter to be taken serious? I'm not talking about letters, I'm talking about reality. And I'm talking about reality.
Yes, and because you've mentioned Egbert Fabel Dean specifically, you are saying, say, saloon car, a one FCC, a buying car. Is that what you said?
They say you should ask him if he has handed over all his vehicles that he has used belonging to Petroleum Commission back to the place. Ask him if during transition he hasn't done recruitment at Petroleum Commission. Ask him if during transition he has not held about 5 board meetings at Petroleum Commission. Ask him.
Yeah, but during transition, that's a letter asking him to set aside and get away from the office. He's still the CEO. Into your board meeting, what's wrong with that?
Yes. Are you justifying these things? It's embarrassing.
No, I'm not justifying. The Americans say for all the CEOs, letters were sent to them asking them to step aside. During the transition period, he is still CEO of the place. That's the point I'm making.
I'm not talking about he being a CEO or not being a CEO. I'm talking about activities that have taken place even within the period of transition that you can describe as unethical.
No, how is it unethical? So we are CEO now say.
Are you saying that it's ethical for people to be piling up costs on the state when they know that government have dissolved and a new government was being formed?
No. You made a point about board meetings.
Yes.
Recruitment need any another issue. Board meetings are making.
What would be the exigency at Petroleum Commission to allow for 5 board meetings within the period of transition? You should be asking them. Call them and ask them. See me, I've told you. If I've moved anywhere, I'll come back and apologize and retract. But ask them if anything I'm saying is a lie. I'm just telling you how they have milked and destroyed this country. But yet, in 1 month, they want us to think that they are clean people.
But how are you sure and certain, sir, the private car you speak about in the case of Egbert Fable, no, a state vehicle, as a petroleum commission vehicle? How sure are you?
You understand me? Say, we're handing over all the cars now.
Sir, you don't expect him to come and prove. And one hour car, something one hour say will prove. Say, in fact,
no, it's not in all circumstances.
Yeah, the only circumstance where in case are circumstances now.
Mm-hmm.
The circumstance where the burden will shift onto the accused person, way in count. In a way that you are making.
And I must say,
yes.
When I have served in a state capacity as a public officer, I have questions to answer to the public. Let me say, let's ask these state officials, have you handed over all your vehicles to the state? The vehicles that you used as official vehicles, have you handed over those vehicles? It's not malicious. It's not defamatory. I'm asking questions. Ask my senior brother if he didn't do recruitment within the period of transition. Ask him what would have necessitated Petroleum Commission to hold about 5 board meetings in a row within the period of transition. Is that not an attempt? And I am saying this one, that is it not an attempt to compile, to increase, to balloon debt responsibilities of the incoming government? Is it not an attempt to further, increase the burden on the people of Ghana, to cause them pain? Is it not so?
Okay, Mustafa Mreninti, finally on the state of our Jubilee House as you describe. What will be done? Because Monsumun and Twaso entna the Ewoka say eho aye basa no muntimi ntna so entna musa enti den na mobeye me pacho.
Yetimusa nkyerɛ sɛ bɛn nka ho asɛm o.
Said the America say you can't want to move here.
Open Rolls Royce now wabenya hard body a wobɛtena musa. Ghana for na ebre yetimusa ɔmanpanyin timusa, but it is testament of the fact that a group of people lived at the presidency and they left the place very dirty and unkept. Lack of maintenance, lack of supervision, poor job. They didn't live it the same way they treat their private homes because it is for the people of Ghana. They didn't care. No duty, no responsibility.
Mustafa me patcho meba. Nyamea Domensaka lawyer Egbert Fable ewo ahomane so. Ma mema na kwaba na omra yen komoyemu council ekosi sensu ne yakwaba
yeja yenua
na mpacho apom ye de
o nyame adome ho ye
enti you have Mustafa Gbande on the line or making some claims be say ye musa private car wo fie CCI Petroleum Commission car was our return here onfa enkoye me pacho
what's in when
Mustafa Gbande or a deputy director of operations at the presidency or say deputy general secretary of the NDC.
Okay, very well.
Yes.
Your line also.
Me pacho your line also.
I'm very surprised say a whole party deputy general secretary and also deputy director of operations at the presidency of the Republic of Ghana will without facts come on a reputable radio station like Tempeřs and come and spew out lies, blatant lies. Let me tell you, I was given a letter signed by Dr. Kalistos Mahama on the 17th of January, revoking my appointment as Chief Executive of Petroleum, Office of the Petroleum Commission. On that day, when I got a letter, the first thing I did, the letter said that my appointment is revoked with immediate effect. It was about 4 o'clock. Now me be winding down for the day. So I left the office, took everything that was mine because I'd already packed and everything, done my handing over note. So I left. When I left, the next thing I did was to call the transport officer of the Petroleum Commission, a lady, and said, Madam, I got a letter at 4 p.m. this 17th of January. I have 2 Petroleum Commission assigned vehicles with me, a V8 and a saloon car. Tomorrow morning, please send 2 drivers to my house, which is Saturday 18th. I did a letter and gave it to one of the drivers to go and deliver. So 2 drivers came to my home, take the saloon car, plus the V8, and took them to the petroleum commission. The transport officer received the vehicles and signed, having received them in good condition. Call any member of staff of the petroleum commission management. And so, ono, your friend said, no, Mustafa Gbande, no. In what capacity then will he come and make this kind of allegation against my person? Petroleum Commission gave me 2 vehicles. All those 2 vehicles have been parked at the Petroleum Commission from the 18th, Saturday 18th of of January. So what is he talking about? Saturday when no more no BTNC, not 777 NDC supporters no Omako. Then they will go and attack people. Please, Mustafa Gbande, let me caution you. If you are working with President Mahama, do your work. If you are working with the government, do your work. But don't go about spewing lies and untruths. Please, respect yourself.
Mustafa.
Yeah.
Enti, what's your lawyer Egbert Fabel? What do you say to the
also hand over cars
also hand over to the Okana and Tron or baby?
No problem because I board meeting as well.
Mustafa me
Mustafa. You will finish the question.
Mustafa. Lawyer me patron meba ho nya abotrema me. Mustafa. Car na de no okwate wo hen se car park ni fie.
O de me say wan fa car bia. Actually was mbeba.
Mustafa. Me patron. O si on fa car there is record to show say we return the
car. Let me Obi,
yes. Yeah, Mustafa me too.
Egbert is my brother.
Please, you are not my brother. I cannot be your brother. We don't come from the same region. You are not my brother. Don't make that mistake.
On the car.
Don't make that mistake. Don't make that mistake. You cannot be my brother. You are not my brother.
A bunch of people who have sat down and mismanaged the people, mismanaged your, accused your officers, and you don't want us to confront him.
Mustafa, he has confronted you with the fact that he's returned the 2 cars. Record shows the transport officer at the Petroleum Commission taking delivery of the 2 cars. In those facts, were put in a bear. What do you have to say?
You have put the one question to bear.
Yes.
I will leave the facts close because I asked a question and he's given an answer. Sir, he has submitted 2 cars.
Yes.
That was the first question I asked.
Yes.
Okay. So we should leave it there. But I'm saying
on that specific question,
but it doesn't mean the issue will be left to rest. I'm saying, sir.
Please, nobody, let me tell you, Mustafa Gbande is not the only rooster in this country. I'm telling him that in an era of insecurity, where NDC and government operatives are going around issuing all kinds of threats to people, I will not sit down for a character like Mustafa Gbande go on radio and go and lie and malign me. Obi.
Yes.
Obi.
I'm also asking you. Kindly call Petroleum Commission.
What will be your definition of malignment?
And ask them.
Okay.
How many vehicles they assigned me on assumption of duty, and how many vehicles I can return to them following my departure from office.
Very well.
It's very simple.
We'll do that. The other question.
Ask him the other question.
Mustafa Nyabotre. The other question, Egbert, on board meetings. Say even when transition team discussions you held as many as 5 or so board meetings.
Your friend is saying Minya Obi.
Yes, lawyer.
First of all, I don't account to someone like Mustafa Gbande. Let me explain
Mustafa,
Mustafa, hold on.
No, I wouldn't let him talk to me the way he want to go.
Lawyer.
With due respect to you and all our listeners,
yes.
If you know corporate governance, Who is it? The chief executive who calls board meetings?
No, the board chairman.
Good. So assuming what he is even claiming is even true, why is he trying to ask me? I'm a member of the board, or I was a member of the board. I was on the chairman. In any event, if the board chairman even called meetings, can I?
This is lame.
Mustafa,
he has very good reasons to call
CEO, not the board secretary.
In any event, Katia Mustafa said, Unquestioned Presidential Transition Act in Ghana, the schedule, it provides that the tenure of all persons who are on the board of any state entity lapses on the day a new president is sworn in office. The day a new president is sworn in office is fixed on the 7th of January. So is he trying to suggest that when at the elections, December 7, December 9, about results were declared, no board in this country should have held a meeting? Please.
So you see?
Okay.
I think that from one allegation
from your
explanation, allegation of having kept a vehicle or vehicles, now he's moved to board meetings.
No, I actually made a litany of things. I raised a litany of issues, three main issues.
Yes.
You have not denied that 5 board meetings were held in a row during transition period.
I have not even answered your question.
You are going to hide behind transition act and hiding behind a board chairman to say that
any board meetings were held. You, Mustafa Gbande, who are you and what is your locus and capacity to challenge the board meetings?
I am exposing you. I'm exposing you.
Capacity?
I want the public to know.
Please,
how you run
the public also know that you have no locus
you went as far as doing recruitment. You did recruitment during transition.
That are not in your purview.
And you are the elites we have in this country. The ones who hold themselves as elites.
Let's finish with the final question. Egbert, he also made the point, say, within that period, no recruitment, even after the elections, the Petroleum Commission.
Please, as you very well know, the Petroleum Commission is part of the public services of Ghana.
Yes.
We don't just get up and appoint and what do you call it? Let me tell you, and I'll take my opportunity to tell you, to tell you this. Each interview that we held interviews between September, October, and I think the last ones were in November. When people have done their interviews, with the Public Services Commission representatives sitting in the interviews, we don't straight away go ahead and issue them, your friends saying, appointment letters. You go for your medicals. We also write to the institutions whose certificates you claim you have. You understand? For them to validate your bona fides as to whether or not we can certificate and our body way and our body way. So when those issues, those checks take some time to come, what do you do as chief executive? That because you have board approval and those checks and all those things have delayed, and because you shouldn't issue the letters. Yeah, so they were done, but they were not done. No interview was done in December. No, they were done earlier, and we did checks. Apart from medicals, people's universities had to be written to validate their certifications. Those took some time. That is how come you realize that some appointments were made in November to take effect in January. And let me also tell you, because of the public service budgeting cycle and the commission's budgeting cycle, you just don't get up towards the last quarter when you hire people or you have people and say that add them to the budget, because the budget has been approved for 2025 and provision has been made for hiring of hands, new hands. So their appointments were then to take effect in January, so that the budget we began the year 2024 with will go to its logical conclusion. These are all management matters that if you are not privy to, you behave like the way Mustafa is behaving and come and talk the way anyhow.
So you find the decision to revoke all these appointments so very unfair, right?
Those are all, in my candid opinion, political, and the public services should be devoid of politics. And so those who have elected to go political with these things, let them go that route. I believe that the people who have been affected also know their rights, and that if they elect to vindicate their rights, we'll all be in this country and we'll know that it is wrong or right for anyone on assumption of office to do what they have purported to do.
When you took over office or Petroleum Commission, Omua na ebia NDC time omanya adwuma o Petroleum Commission no o ma ebi mo kwatena afia na did you vote
go and check Petroleum Commission. My record is there. I did not terminate anyone's appointment. Indeed, what I even did was that when I went there were people on contract employees that who had been engaged by my predecessor. I called my top management and I said, listen, I don't think we have money to pay if we what do you call it, retain them on permanent basis as full-time employees. The director of finance said, yes, why not? We have money to pay. I said, listen, it is not good for anyone to come here and be doing what you call it, contract staff. We are contract staff, but what happens is that at the end of the month, while the regular staff are getting their social security payments, so contract staff won't be. Yes. No, this is not fair. Such people, when you have them in an environment, they become disenchanted, they become disillusioned. So let's regularize all of them. And they were regularized. That is the record. Okay. That is the record I left behind there. It's a public record. You can go to Petroleum Commission and check.
Obi.
Okay. Egbert, my say yes. Mustafa finally.
Obi.
Yes.
Obi.
Mustafa meeting.
He's dancing around the fire.
I'm dancing around the fire. Which fire have you said?
No,
which fire have you said?
Please, can you let me land? I beg you with respect. Can you let me land?
Don't be using. You went on. I heard you. You went on UTV. Did the same. You've gone on a few other stations and did the same. People called me. I didn't want to react.
Egbert,
I'm telling you here now.
Please, can you let me land?
A liar. You're a liar. You are on your phone.
Quiet.
You are full of malice.
Please.
That's what I'm telling you.
You've had your time. Keep quiet.
You are full of malice. You are attracted by malice. And I will not sit down for you to
you were talking, I was quiet.
What do you mean?
These are malicious individuals hiding behind political colors.
You are a criminal individual. You are a criminal individual.
Justifying.
You are a criminal individual.
Can you let me land?
Can you let me land? Individual.
Can you let me land?
You are a criminal individual. What do you mean a malicious individual?
You are justifying an unethical conduct.
You are a criminal individual. You Mustafa Gbande. And I'm telling you.
Lawyer, me pacho me yentie no me say.
Matter, don't go and bring criminals who don't have the fact. Even you, I don't want to raise issue, but for a good Samaritan who heard that this had gone on and called me for me to call in, you were going to allow this to stay. Obi, you are going to allow this.
You haven't.
We were going to call you, lawyer.
You are going to call me.
We were going to call you.
Yes. After Mustafa had spewed his lies on your rather reputable network.
Which one?
Obi,
lawyer
I respect you a lot. Don't let them go that route.
No,
you have just used 10 minutes to dance around fire without saying anything.
That is your understanding of the issue.
Held about 5 board meetings during transition.
And I have the conviction that
I have also said that you are recruitment within the period of transition. You are jumping around.
I'll return.
Okay, gentlemen, let me end it here.
Obi, I think that I should react to this one. It's not fair.
Listen, do it in 30 seconds.
Obi, yes. Let me tell you, this gentleman came on and spewed lies about me. I came on
because the thing I've said elsewhere is what we are dealing with now. Let me talk.
I'm telling you and him to go to.
You are dancing around the fire. Please let me also talk.
Vehicles too that were assigned to me are not parked at the Petroleum Commission from the 18th of January.
I will not insult you, but the listeners will judge you.
Okay.
The listeners, the people of Ghana will judge you. You, Egbert, the people of Ghana will judge you.
And
you've done recruitments and ethically during transition.
Very well. Thank you, gentlemen. Mama Yemfa NC.
Thank you for staying tuned. PENDREAM TV really appreciates your time on the channel. Once again, says God bless you for the good work you are doing. And to all our cherished viewers and new members, we urge you to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, like, and also share to other members to watch as well. Thank you.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.